you're sitting in a car that has. Let's go ahead and pull forward. You're sitting in a car that has 365 horsepower, 376 pounds of torque, and that torque comes on pretty strong at about 1,300 RPM. It's twin turbocharged.
It is a twin turbo.
Twin turbo, direct injected V6 engine. Very responsive, and that's the first thing we're going to play with. So the way this is going to work, as soon as they launch, we're gonna
roll up to
the white lines. When we're ready, that gentleman, you're going to give him a thumbs up. When he's ready, he'll give you a thumbs up and he'll start these lights. You'll see it in just a minute. And they'll descend. When it hits green, I'm going to invite you with both hands on the steering wheel to just mash the throttle. And you can keep it mashed until the slow sign's up there. You see those, right?
Yep.
That's where I need you to come off throttle. And then further down, come to a complete stop by the stop signs up there. They do have Brembo brakes on here, and there's plenty of time to get stopped. So, and the Brembo brakes are standard on this car.
Not on mine. I really wish they were. Although the brakes on my Audi are really, really good.
And what year is your Audi?
It's an 09.
Well, you know what? It's not the same designer, but we stole their designer, Peter Schreier. He did the original TT, for example.
Yeah.
So he's who's been designing this car. Actually, he's been designing for us since 2007, which is why Kias look so nice these days.
Yeah.
All right, ready to roll?
Yep.
And go. And you can just keep it planted until we reach those signs. Turbos are kicking in. You can feel that. It just keeps pulling. And now brakes. And very responsive brakes. You know, I'm sure you appreciate
good brakes.
They're easy to modulate is what I like about them. We'll stop here, and when we're ready, he'll give us a thumbs up, and we can head out on a very quick course. It's 25-mile-an-hour speed limit, but it's very tight, comes at you very quickly, and we can have a lot of fun at 25 miles an hour.
Yeah, I have a friend of mine that actually purchased the Optima not too long ago, and it's the newer Kias the design are coming out really, really well.
Yep,
I gotta admit.
Well, in developing this car, we took the guy that's been responsible for all the BMW M cars since the mid '80s, and Peter Schreier and him, he worked on this car together. It was sort of their dream car. So it goes to the right, late apex on all of these ones. If you look at the apex, the last cone at the end of each curving, that's kind of your apex. So if you can stay wide, for instance, stay left here, and then tight to the inside. And then you can squeeze on a little gas as you exit here and stay to the right, and brakes here to set the nose for a very tight late apex out here. All right, and just use those as your apexes. So feel the weight transfer. Just feel how nice this car.
Bad.
Well, it's nice and level, right? So a comfortable ride, and we'll dial it back a little bit into the. Now we can squeeze on throttle, straighten out the wheel, but we got a tight left-hander at the end. So brakes, and then we can kind of open up the wheel as you give it gas, but be fully stopped by the stop sign. And brakes. How'd it feel?
I'm a little rusty.
That's okay. I understand that. Actually, would you like me to drive you around for a lap?
Sure.
Right here. Well, actually, that's all right. Pull on just a second. Let me get permission. We've got a little bit of a line, but I think they'll let me do this.
Yeah.
So we just put it in park right here. I'll give them one more lap. So one more lap. Yeah, we're good. So yeah, the German DNA in all the Kia products is, they don't necessarily, well, we're from Korea, we'll do it our way. Their way is to get the very best people they can to work on these cars and build the best cars they can at a price that most people can afford. And I think they've succeeded with that.
It is very comfortable.
It's very nice seats, really nice seats, and they're ventilated too, which you're probably enjoying right now.
Oh, butt AC.
Both heated,
Nice.
yeah, both heated and ventilated right here. Car is very, very fully equipped. So high-speed luxury touring is what this car is designed for. It's not. They don't make any claim that it's a race car, but if you want something for the twisty roads, maybe down Highway 1, something like that. This car will take very good care of you. A lot of style and a lot of comfort.
Yeah, because we had heard that they were coming out with the Stinger, but There's been very little from what I've seen.
They've been threatening for a couple of years, but they finally actually did it. We were all very curious because this was our first experience with the car as well. So we were all very curious about this car. It looked good on paper. I got to say, it looks a lot better in person. And it definitely delivers on the handling promises. Over 50% of this car is built out of some form of high-strength steel. That helps us with our torsional rigidity, which is almost eliminated. So if we have that, then we can soften up the suspension for a good ride. Then we stiffened up the sway bars front and rear, so it's not rolling a whole lot. So you get the best of both worlds. You get comfort, you get handling. So he's just waiting for this.
For the other car to take off.
Yeah. And we're good. Here we go. That was 62 miles an hour when I went to brakes, 4.7 seconds. And you feel the turbos doesn't take them too long to kick in, and when they do, they just keep on pushing.
Yeah, they spool in real quick.
Yep. Well, they're high velocity, small turbochargers. They spool up to about 250,000 RPM at full boost.
Only 250,000
RPM, yeah. That's kind of hard to conceive.
And now we're going on the twisty course.
We are indeed.
Come on, buddy, hurry up.
Well, he's waiting for a call that says tunnel clear. So when the tunnel is clear, then he'll let us go. He's got a rig. There we go. So I'm going to stay wide out to the left, all the way out here, and that allows me to get into a late apex, and then I can have a straight exit out of here. A late apex here, just a little bit of brakes to plant the nose, same thing here. And now I'm going to kind of give it a little throttle as I exit here, tap the brakes to kind of set the nose for a very late apex here, and then I'm just going to kind of maintenance throttle through here and just play with the weight transfer a little bit, sort of on and off throttle. I can stay a little wide here, my eyes are on my inside apex here, and I can be on throttle right through the tunnel. Pretty aggressive brakes, kind of trail off, set the nose a little bit, open up the wheel all the way to the outside, and we get a good run down the back straight. And of course, Brembo brakes, except no substitute.
I agree on the Brembos.
They're just great. The width, they stop. Most brakes do that. But what a lot of brakes don't do is how you can modulate them. Because definitely on a track, the transition from brakes back to throttle is key. And you have to be able to modulate it with a fine degree of sensitivity, and these are just flawless.
Well, I'm thinking about doing a big brake upgrade on my Audi just to have just some, even just for the street. I'd rather have a really